Is it of you?
No, sadly, no.
Oh.
No. But it's a cool thing. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show it. So give me a second.
Nice. Beep beep boo boo. Beep 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 boo 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 boo. Wait a minute. Ian's talking to his stream. I don't know what the plushie is.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry.
Hello. So wait, can I know about this, or is it Rythian's secret?
No, it's not even. You can come. You can check my stream if you want.
Ooh.
It's nothing mega amazing or whatever. But I got
me
like
overhyped
basically,
now. This
yeah,
must be the best thing in the world.
I very much got you overhyped. But what happened was, I basically got told, here's a cool thing. Do you want it? And if so, can you just show it off on your stream and tell people where to buy it? And I'm like,
okay.
Hell yeah, that sounds good. Let me find the link so I can post it to people.
Hey, I'm watching.
Okay, hi. I'm not looking into the camera, but hi. Trying to find the thing. We have too many Discords.
We do. We do.
There we go.
Who
Okay.
keeps the metric system down? No, wait. Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down?
Yeah.
We do.
We do. The sun catches. Hi, everyone. Should I even do big cam? I can do big cam. Look, big cam.
Big cam. I want to see the best plushie in the world ever.
Well, I mean, okay. Let's calm down now. But
look, I'm on
pretty
TV.
Good thing. Yeah, you are. Hello. You're right there. You're right there. You're typing. It says hello, and you can see your own name. It's very nice. I got this.
I have to wait for the delay.
Yeah.
What does he get? Oh, hang on. I know that one. It's Sephiroth.
No.
No. Is it Xenos?
No, it's not. It's not even Xenos.
I don't know who it is.
If I could open his mouth a little bit, you'd see better because you'd see he has fangs.
It's Pikachu.
It's. This is Alucard from Castlevania. Did you watch Castlevania, or did you play Castlevania ever, or nothing?
No, I didn't stand a chance.
What do you mean?
Is it Legolas?
It's not like. No. Who else do? I'll give you another guess. I've already said what it was, but I'll give you another guess.
It's. I can't think of anyone funny. The Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it's not Hollow Knight, no. This is Alucard from Castlevania. I think this model specifically is based on the one in Symphony of the Night, but he's also in the Netflix show and in a couple of other games. He's really cool. I got him for free from the lovely people over at After the Credits. I'm going to put a link in chat. Wablow. If you want to get your own. He's hella cool. After the Credits is a small company from Germany who do cool little things with a focus on sustainable and eco-friendly things.
I thought of another one.
Okay. Who do you think it is, Briony?
It's Jareth from Labyrinth, the Goblin King.
Isn't that David Bowie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't take that as an insult because David Bowie's pretty cool. But yeah, no.
I found out. Well, wait, was it you that was telling me the other day that he didn't play with his own balls?
No, that was someone else.
Someone was saying that because David Bowie couldn't do the balls thing, so they had to get the stunt guy who was trying to show him how to do it to like reach round into the camera and make it look as if it was him doing.
What the hell?
He didn't do his own tricks.
He didn't do his own tricks. There you go.
Nope.
But yeah, he's really cool. Go check it out. At the link I posted in chat, and you can see it on screen as well.
I'll post the link in my chat too.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. But that's it. Like they no money has to change hands. I just got a free plushie, and then I could tell people where the plushie was. He's pretty cool. I actually have a second one lying around somewhere, so I might raffle that out or something, or send it to someone. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, but I got two. I only need the one, so I'll do something else with the other one. I'll figure that out.
Well, then he won't have a friend anymore.
Well, it'd just be weird. Also, vampires are solitary creatures, so also it would be weird if he was just with him as well. It's like a clone or a twin.
I don't know who. I was gonna say I don't know who Monster Hunter is, but they have a cute Monster Hunter plushie. Is
Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter. Oh, it's the little cat from Monster Hunter, the Palico.
Oh, they've got an Angry Tribble plushie.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff in that place, and yeah, it's really cute and lovely. I like plushies. They're sort of like, you can sort of pretend they're like your little plushies you have in bed when you were a kid, but also they look cool. I just think that what they should have done is I might draw on a little bit of a fang in his mouth, because he's supposed to be a vampire. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to show. Thank you after the credits for sending me this cool plushie. And if anyone wants cool plushies, go check them out. I posted.
If anyone wants to send me things, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah? Go ahead. You can also send me things, but please don't, because it's weird when it comes to my
on yourselves.
Yeah.
Boobies. I saw a picture of Kevin Smith the other day.
Yeah?
He looks so different now.
Yeah, he's really changed.
Ethan Page he does like a vlog where he collects toys or talks about toy collections. I think he went to see Kevin
Smith
for that. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. You follow a lot of the external stuff for AEW, or like a lot of the. Well, you say you don't really follow the Twitters because you don't want to be spoiled, but like video links and the like. I try
not to focus. Not to focus. I don't even know where I got that word from. I thought I'd read it on the page, but it's not there. I don't really follow any of it, to be honest, because I'm just worried. Like occasionally I'll watch their streams because I think they try not to talk about spoilers on there, but I'm just so worried they casually mention something and I'll be what? So I'll watch like Eva Luno sometimes, and just the AEW Games account I'll watch. I was really tempted to, because Isaac, who is, I've forgotten his actual job title at Yogscast Games, but he is like a big wrestling nerd, and he said that it's like his dream to see any wrestler play any game that's published by Yogs.
Oh, that would be cool.
And I was looking the other day on Twitter. I've still got your stream open. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
I was looking the other day on Twitter, and Serpentico's DMs are open, and I was just like, "Ooh, should I slide in?"
If you,
just be like, "Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior Plate-Up?"
Plate-Up? Listen, I think Cesaro, Adam Cole, and some people used to stream and do stuff together on Up Up Down Down all the time, and arguably they still probably do stuff, or at least can get a group of 4 together. They would probably have a ton of fun on Plate-Up, honestly.
That's the thing, because they do still do like I mean, sometimes they do just silly things like playing, like Luchasaurus was playing chess the other day, like physical chess.
Yeah.
But they do also play like Eva Luno plays with the games with his wife all the time on his channel and stuff. But yeah, I noticed that Serpentico and maybe Peter Avalon's DMs were open. I was just like,
I mean,
should I? I'd be offering them stuff. I wouldn't just be. But Serpentico retweeted one of my tweets, so I feel like I've got
that's with the one with the door.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll remember that it was you, though?
No.
Yeah,
I
blah, blah,
did
blah.
worry that
Maybe you
he
say so
saw
in the
that
DM.
tweet.
Hi, I'm the person
Hi, I
whose
saw
door
you
you
in a
DM'd.
door.
Yeah, I'm the girl with the door.
But I'm worried that he saw that tweet and then immediately maybe clicked on my profile and saw that I didn't follow him. It was like, what the
Ooh.
heck? And then I'm
Well,
worried
I
that
don't
I've
know.
annoyed Peter Avalon by saying that I sometimes check his account purely for his rabbit and not for him.
Well, you said and I remember that tweet. You said specifically it was because you didn't get spoiled. You weren't going to get spoiled. So it's not the same, you
Yeah.
know?
He's on Cameo as well, so I could just, pay £27 and be like, can you stream this game, please? Can you
Yeah, and
save
then
30 seconds
you'll get the
of a
response back
cameo?
on Cameo and it says, no, I'm too
No.
busy, thank you. And then it's £10 for nothing.
Oh. But yeah, I'm
we would get a brand deal with Adam Cole
I don't
and
think it would be
Claudio Castagnoli for playing Played Up.
that would be the dream.
Mm.
I just want
Unless you
to
can manage without a brand deal, you know?
yeah. I would love
I
to
don't know if
see
do they
Tobento
play
play it
many
just
like
because he's my
smaller indie
favorite.
games? I haven't watched a ton of their streams.
Well, they were playing what were they playing the other day? Not Cave Blazers. Spelunky?
Okay.
Which I
That's
guess isn't
fairly indie,
like
yeah.
it's not like a big like
Yeah.
Hobka sort of thing. So I think they'd be up for it. The last stream they did was Excalibur doing a tier list of Dreamcast games.
Nice. Okay.
So
that
I
works.
think they do they are big nerds.
They are big nerds. Ooh, they have a raid. I have 2 raids.
Oh my gosh. A pincer movement.
I've been flanked. I've been flanked and assaulted on all sides. Thank you very much, Visti and Overlight, for the raids. Welcome, welcome.
Couple of
Welcome to a
cuties.
stream with me and Briony. We're gonna play as Attorney. I haven't even tweeted that we're streaming yet. I should get around to that. I'll do a tweet. I usually use TweetDeck for my tweets, but I can't embed GIFs if I go to TweetDeck, so I now have to go to normal Twitter. Chatting a bit with Brian before we play Ace Attorney, twitch.tv/Rudy, and embed GIF, and then an objection GIF or something, an Ace Attorney GIF.
Well, there was something I was meant to do before I started streaming, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but
Can't have been too.
It's gone now. It's gone
now. Lost in the recesses now.
Yeah, well, if it was important, it wasn't anymore. So.
Oh, I think I was just going to reply to an email. I can wait. Squad maybe, says Sapphire.
Squad, yes. Maybe that was the thing. Is your Rossabo out of function? Is that why?
I think Kirsty might be streaming at the moment, so my Rossabo is otherwise engaged.
I see. There's a priority system there.
My pet Rossabo. I'm bottom of the pile.
That's fair. I'm not even on the pile, but I don't need it. I have Sapphire. Sapphire does my stuff. She's brilliant. So.
Oh yeah, Kirsty is still streaming. That'll be why.
Yeah,
that'll be why.
What's she streaming?
Such art.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet earlier. I got a mail about that. It looks cool. That game.
Yeah, it's nice. I got an email from the. I can't remember if it was the developer or the publisher. The other day, being like, "You should play such art," and I replied they were like, "Here's a key," and I was like, "I don't need it. I've already got the game. Thank you. It's good. I like it."
Nice. Yeah. I always feel guilty, like when I get keys sent to me, right, and I'm like, "This looks good," but I have no idea when I will fit this in for a stream because, like, currently I'm working on like XCOM, and I want to keep playing XCOM. When I'm done with that, it's like, okay, I have a few weeks before like it's time for God of War or Ragnarok or whatever. And then like, all right, which one of the games? Because there's like 7 games I've gotten keys for that like this will be fun for a stream. And so I just always feel like guilty with like accepting keys when I go like, yeah, I would like to play this. I just am not sure when I'll be able to find the time for it. This is why every now and then when I don't know what to do, I do like a stream where I play like 3 games or something. I call it a good day to try. And I like try out different games quickly, just give it a test and see what I like. Some of them I really like, and I try to recommend them and like put them on a list of like, okay, this is something to play on my own later, or just more on stream later. Some of the things have happened, but yeah.
I had that the other day because I couldn't decide whether to play like there's a game called Paradise Marsh that I wanted to play and a game called Coral Island, and they came out like a day apart, but I only had one day this week that I was doing like unscheduled stuff. So I was like, okay, which one am I going to play? So I played Coral Island on my own off stream, and I was like, this feels weird. I feel like I'm doing something naughty.
Yeah.
I never really play games offline. It's very odd.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by offline? Like you play Dota?
Non-streaming. Yeah, but no one wants to watch me play Dota.
No, that's fair.
that one I'm allowed.
So basically,
I suggest
like,
downloading
you
more
rarely
time.
play. You basically rarely
to
play any game aside from like whatever we play together, just on your own for fun. That isn't a stream.
Yeah, I'll do like Dota, Slay the Spire, and like Warzone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, still.
Off stream. And every now and then, if I feel like I'm starting to like myself too much, I'll load up Ratropolis, and that brings me right back down again.
Why is that such a game that makes you feel bad?
Oh my gosh, I hate it so much.
Then why do you play it?
It infuriates me. Because there was a time, okay, I got given a key by the dev years ago, and I forgot to play it. And then one day I suddenly, I think I like remembered the email out of the blue, and I was like, oh, I'll give that game a go, because I didn't have anything to stream. So I was like, I'll just try this game. Didn't win it all stream. I was like, that's fine. It's just a difficult game. Then everyone else in my community started playing it, and they'd be like, oh, I just won Ratropolis. And then slowly, one by one, everyone else had won it apart from me.
Oh no.
So every now and then I'd just be like, that's funny. And then I would load it up and be like, I'm going to beat this.
This time I'm going to win. I'm going to post that I can win and show them I won.
And it's been so long and I've still never won it. I hate it so much.
I don't even know.
Every now and then I just hear noises from the game, and I'm just, don't play it because you'll win. And then I'll cry.
Okay.
It's beaten me. I'm never going to win it.
It's a roguelike tower defense city building deck building game. Okay.
I went to message the dev back saying like, oh, thanks for the key. And it was like, you can't contact this person because you're either blocked or don't share a Discord. So I was just like,
whoa, okay.
So you've dumped a key on me and now I can't thank you for it.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
I still think the developer must be someone from my past who hates me.
They designed a game that you were never gonna beat, you know,
specifically me will never beat. It's like I watched this TikTok earlier where what's the name? Is it Cluster Truck? Is that the Landfalls game where you're jumping between the trucks?
Yeah.
They did a thing, this was a while ago, but they basically put a back door into the Twitch integration so that when Twitch streamers were streaming it, they could mess with the game.
Oh my god.
And Soda Poppin was playing it, and these messages just start coming up on the screen saying like, what's your favorite color? And he's like, well, blue. And then they're like, okay. And all the trucks suddenly turn blue. And he was like, wait, what? And then, because it just said it out loud. Then he was like, it came up with like, hey, get ready to fly. And all of a sudden, all the trucks just took off the ground.
Okay,
and start floating into the air. He's like, what is this?
That is really cool.
And there was something else where they were like, do you like speed runs? And he's like, what? And then all of a sudden his character's just going like impossibly quick, just like shoo, shoo, shoo. And he's like, what's happening?
That is really cool. That is a very
It was
memorable
so
moment. Yeah, that's neat.
But I think that's what Ratropolis have done to me, that I just can't ever win.
They put in a thing there and they check out. But then again, you're not streaming.
Even when I'm playing offline.
Even when you're not streaming. They just might have put
Say
in a
no.
code that like checks the name. Is this Bois playing? And then
Yep.
you go for it. You've
And
told me
hear
about
the
Bois.
music
Where's
now.
Luff cut from? Anyway.
Just occasionally I would try and sign up to things as well and it'd already be taken.
So you just added
So
Luff randomly.
love.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was from like my teenage years where it was like, I love you. And yeah, so
I
it was
see.
like love, but love.
Okay. Okay. That's cute.
I'm really very cute.
Yes. A cute person. Right. I don't know. I've been trying to like not follow wrestling recently, but I can't help hearing about it because I still see posts from the Squared Circle subreddit every now and again. And whenever something
Yeah.
big happens, like I just see it. And it seems to be a very interesting time, right? Like a lot of strange things going on in general, in terms of people. But for the most part, what is interesting to me is that WWE seems to be getting much better now, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
it's
gonna go
not
into
run
a
by Stinky
huge
Stinkerson.
yeah. Um which is good. Which is good. And I'm just curious, like, because I've always said that competition is good, right? Which is why when the first time AEW started, the hope was that WWE was going to get better, and it did for a bit until they then decided, nah. And then I think Triple H had like a serious surgery or something, and he didn't do anything for a long time. But then now he's back and running things, and stuff's getting really good, apparently. But I just don't have time to watch it. Honestly, that's the thing. I'm probably just gonna watch like big things, like the big pay-per-views, because there's too
Yeah,
many
that's
other
their
stuff going
dues.
on. All the Dota, because there's a lot of Dota happening right now. A lot of Dota. The next 2 weeks is TI. Um, it starts
Kirsty just
officially.
raided in time for Dota talk. I hope you're excited, Kirsty.
Very fitting. To be fair, Kirsty likes watching Dota. She just doesn't like playing Dota. We try to get her to play, but
Yeah.
she doesn't want to. But
I reckon she's got
she
like an
usually.
alt account that's got thousands of hours and she could kick all of our asses.
I think she's his playing on her own, right? Secretly.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point when she feels like, okay, I'm good enough now, she wants to play with us. I think
Yeah.
that's my thing.
She's waiting until there's another other tournament that doesn't happen. So we're like, oh geez, guess we got to do Dota then. And she's like, oh damn, yeah, do Dota.
Dota,
And then all of a
and then
sudden
she
she's
just
just like
blasts everyone apart.
Invoker, like pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew.
Just blast everyone apart. It's like, who is this
Yeah.
invoker? It's Kirsty, and everyone's like, what? Yeah, I think so. That is probably what's gonna happen. Yeah, Dota's has become a backup. I don't know if that's a good thing that it's the backup for a tournament, but yeah. The Playdrift tournament went really well, I thought. That was so cool. That was the latest one we did, right? Yeah. And I think the best part about that one was that we made a bingo. I think the only thing, like we talked about a little bit afterwards, was like adjusting some of the points things necessarily so that it wasn't such a. Basically, as soon as someone got to 15 first and kept going with a good run, they had it in the bag basically no matter what.
Yeah.
So that maybe should change a little bit for next time, but it was really fun. It was really cool, like hunting all the wacky challenges and stuff and doing what you can. It's great.
Trying
It's
to
really fun.
think of more that would be relevant to the update now. If we were to do another one, now there's going to be these new things added.
Yeah.
Bones.
Bones, yeah.
Bones.
Which is fitting. They've
They've been
added
added.
bones in for the Halloween update. There are bones.
Bones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like it's going to complicate things a little bit, definitely. Because
Oh, it definitely does. Yeah, I played a
because
little bit
right
of the update.
now, half the time you barely use the bin. The bin is just damn, something went wrong. Now it has to be constant, if you're gonna use those foods.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is going to make people just say, nah, let's not use this food. Because they just don't want to deal with the bin,
Yeah,
which would be a shame.
true.
But
I I mean, I like it. I just like there being silly things added.
Yeah,
So as
I
soon
think
as
that's a
there's
good
hats,
thing.
I'm like, this is the best game ever.
I've always said one of the biggest things they should add for this release is more cosmetics, because right now there's 3 outfits and then colors and that's it. So more cosmetics, absolutely. Toss in more fun hats, toss in more outfits. Like bam,
Yeah.
just go for it. I think that's I don't want to say easy, because obviously like it's art and you got to do art and stuff, but yeah, throw in more stuff like that to make people feel like they can customize their character a little bit more. That's always a good call.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Alistair
Alistair
has
knows that.
also he's realized now that basically if I send him a message that he doesn't want to reply to, I only noticed this the other day. I'll send him a message with a ridiculous suggestion. He will reply with like a part of a screenshot that's a new part of the update, and I'll get so distracted that I won't carry on with what I went to talk to him about. And it was only like the third time it happened that I was like, hang on a minute.
Hang on, hold on. I recognize what you're doing. What is this? Yeah, that's good.
I don't remember what I messaged him last night, but he'd successfully. Oh, it's because I tried to get him into watching Yella's marble runs, and
Oh,
tomorrow is
yeah.
when the team draw happens.
Yeah.
So the conversation literally goes me sending him a screenshot of the timetable that they've posted on the YouTube and being
Yeah.
like, not long now, like, which team are you going to pick? And then him posting a small part of a screenshot and then me just going, oh my God, how does this work?
Just
And I never
completely
went back to
shutting down
it.
your thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's I
marbles were
am
never
impressed
mentioned
by
again.
yeah, I'm impressed by how he's handling that. That's good job for him. Yeah, Jelly's Marbles again. I haven't paid attention to that in a while. Like I was really into it for a while. I remember we talked about it and was sharing, and I
This is the
watched
perfect time to get back
the
in.
entire tournament. But yeah, now it's like, but I think it's cool to see it again now. Like it's nice. I wanna pick a team. I mean, my old team was Team Galactic, but I don't know if we'll have that again. We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know if that. I mean, obviously, you'll have to go with a team that's actually in the tournament. So yeah,
not
yeah.
pinkies. They never get in.
No, maybe not. I don't
They just
know.
don't have
Maybe this
fighting
is the year.
spirit, bless them. Maybe. That would be nice. I'd like to
Maybe
be
they're
able
just
to
unlucky.
support them. I
Yeah.
think they're just too they're not very competitive. So I think they're just happy to be there, but that doesn't really work for a
Yeah, you
competitive
can't just be
sports
happy to be
event.
there in a big tournament. You gotta have the drive. You gotta have the killer instinct. That's the thing.
They had
Ultimately.
some good runs in the Marbula one, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're not winners, but I love them anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. For those of you who are unaware of Jelly's Marbles runs, it's a bunch of colored marbles going down tracks.
It's a
But
serious
everyone,
sporting event for athletes that are well trained.
that's sort of the point. You talk about it as if it is a serious sporting thing. That's the joke, the gimmick, the canon, the kayfabe. That's why that's how you enjoy it, by getting into it and talking about it as if it was a sport. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
That's always how it is. Like, it's wrestling is more fun if you pretend you believe in it, wrestling is, for
Yeah.
example, like, if you pretend that the storyline is real, if you pretend that the bad guy is really a bad guy and the good guy is really good guy, if you pretend that the whatever the stake is actually a real stake, you care a lot more. You can trick yourself
Yeah.
into believing it. It's way more fun than just going, who cares, they already scripted, they know who's gonna win, I don't care. And like, you can still have fun if you're looking at a purely clinical point, is you're like, I want to see cool moves. Like, yeah, okay, you can. But if you get into it, you'll just enjoy it a lot more. It's just easier to have fun in that case, I think. So, and it's the same with the
Yeah. I
marbles.
love
If you
the
just look at
like
marbles and going like, well, it's just marbles, like, you won't care. But if you like get into the commentary, like get yourself a team, like think of underdogs and stuff rather
yeah.
than complete randomization, like, yeah, it'll be more fun.
I love that of all the sports I've got into, it's wrestling and marbles.
Wrestling and marbles. Yeah.
Two prestigious sports
Yeah. Well played and
sports
yeah.
entertainers.
Entertainers, yeah. Superstars. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know, like nothing ever. Well, it's that and Dota for me. Like those are the three sports. I like
That's
it's
true.
Dota, wrestling, marbles for me. Although at the moment marbles might be a little bit higher because I haven't watched a lot of wrestling in a while. But maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. It's just for
I
me mostly a
keep
matter of time.
waiting.
You know,
I'm
what am I
waiting
waiting for?
for Jericho
Yeah,
to. Basically, Jericho is in Bristol next month. So every
for
time he has a
Fuzzy
match,
concert or
yeah, for the
yeah,
Fuzzy tour.
yeah.
So every time he has a match now, I'm just like Trot and Alex would be like, "Who do you think's going to win?" And I'm just like, "Well, not Jericho, because he's going to get an injury, and then he's going to be out for a few months, and it'll be a kayfabe reason, and that's why he's." And then he wins, and I'm just like, "When are you leaving?" Like it's getting close to the day now. I thought it was going to
Yeah,
be because he's got this thing going on with Brian Danielson. They had
Blackpool
I think
Combat
they had
Club.
3 different matches together or something, and yeah, so I keep thinking like,
Jericho was Brian Danielson's first match in WWE. Well, aside from the ones where he was just some rando that showed up, like on the very first NXT episode before NXT was NXT, and NXT was that weird talent show they had, which was bizarre. Brian Danielson's first match was against Jericho, the champion at the time, and they had a really good but short match
ooh.
because Jericho knew and respected Danielson ahead of time, and yeah, they had a good one. It was cool.
There was quite a cute moment yesterday when we were watching their match, their most
Mm,
recent match, and it's in oh no, wait, I think it might have been just after, but at the moment AEW's in Toronto, I want to say. They're in Canada anyway.
mm,
And we were saying like which one of the wrestlers are Canadian, like Ethan Page and Jericho, Christian, I guess. And
mm.
Trot was like, "Is Brian Danielson Canadian?" And Alex was like, "What? The American Dragon?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's true."
yeah,
I see. I see now. It's
yeah.
probably
Well,
not.
probably not. Yeah, he's from Aberdeen, Washington. That man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
We found out what's his name, Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Trot told us what his real name is the other day, and it's something really weird, like Montgomery Pesto. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. What
Monty
is
Kipsop.
it? Monty Kipsop.
Yeah,
That was it.
it is
Just a
the
weird
Kipsop is the
name.
weird one. Monty is fine. Kipsop though, that's
Kipsop.
unique. Yeah.
Yeah. Nom, 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 nom. Ah. Did you want to lawyer?
Yeah, we should probably lawyer. We've been at this for half an hour. We're not quite the full on 1 hour talks yet, but half an hour is good for the first podcast talk in a while. Because we've been jumping right into
Yeah.
things lately. We've been good, but
Ah.
lawyer is always something that leads to a lot of talking in the beginning, I find. Yeah, so final, if you didn't see, this is Alucard. He's my new plushie. You can go
I
get
don't have
him.
anything to show. I can
No.
show everyone the plushie that Nosy bought me.
He bought you a plushie? Okay, now that
Bought
I
me a
gotta see.
plushie for the
Brian is going to find a
singing
plushie.
carrot. He is?
Oh, it's
He's a
cute.
vintage plushie that Nosy got Alex and I for our wedding.
Wow, that's so cute.
Lovely little boy. So he sits on my shelf next to my
I
desk.
remember your wedding. Like we had a vague plans of all of us showing up for around your wedding, and then going to see the Warcraft movie. And then
Oh
it turns out Warcraft
yeah.
movie wasn't that good. But
I
the
liked it,
weddings
but
you
I'm
did? Yeah.
easily impressed.
I watched it and thought it was good slash fine. Like it wasn't horrible, but that was
Yeah.
about it, you know? Um so yeah, I think there was There was a lot
I
better things that
liked
could
it
have been done.
because it was like, I guess because I was never that big on WoW anyway, so
Mm.
for me I wasn't like super connected to it. But I did have if you're like watching something like, I don't know, Game of Thrones, and you've
Yeah.
been to Crete or wherever it's filmed, and you're like, oh, I've been there, that sort of thing. I felt that in the Warcraft movie. I'd be like,
yeah.
I've
It's
been
like,
there.
hey, it's Norman. I've been there. Hey. Yeah. I looked at it in terms of like, okay, I know that WoW can have or not WoW, but like Warcraft in general, there is a good story there that you can get
Yeah.
and enjoy. And I just found it that like the choices they made just made it seem kind of boring, like it's didn't really go anywhere. Like it was so much a basic start of like
Yeah.
we're just doing the very basics of orcs versus humans, and it just didn't click. I just didn't find any of the characters that interesting because frankly they weren't at the time, because in Warcraft 1 and 2 there was barely any story. Like it was at the start of your mission there was like, hello, here's me talking for about 2 minutes about what's currently happening and why you're fighting, and then you go. And then they do and you just move your little orcs around or your little humans around to kill each other, and then you're done. And then at the end you get like maybe a small cinematic of orcs running over in a castle and killing humans or whatever. The actual story came in like Warcraft 3, really. When you got the story of Arthas and Jaina and all the actual characters that people remember. But because they, like, I think they even named it like Warcraft the Beginning or Warcraft the Origin or something, they're like, we have to start at the very beginning. It's like, no, you don't. That's a bad idea.
When does this become Dota?
Well, that happens eventually. Originally in Dota, some of the characters were just full-on Warcraft characters. Like Keeper of the Light was like Antonidas from Warcraft. Like Illidan was basically Terrorblade. Like, well, not quite, but and obviously the reason people still call Nature's Prophet Furion is because he was Malfurion, and so on. So it was a whole thing. But yeah, the problem was like they were so into like we have to make it from the beginning. That's what we need to do, so that people get and understand. And it's like, no, you don't. You should have jumped straight into Warcraft 3 because that's the like. Yes, I mean there is some interesting stuff in 1 and 2. They're not entirely uninteresting, and obviously you can write it yourself to make it interesting. But Warcraft 3 is where it gets interesting because the Arthas storyline is what people remember and like about Warcraft, about the prince who fights against the undead and in the process turns to darkness and then becomes like evil. Like it's the perfect storyline, like the Arthas and Lich King storyline from beginning to end. Solid trilogy, get it done. Like get, I don't know, Henry Cavill or someone to be Arthas and
I know, some sexy nerd.
Some sexy nerd. Yeah. And that's an interesting thing that people can care about. Like this time they just threw in like these characters that were so very broad. They had like honorable soldier, magician man, the 2 orcs, and they were like betting so hard on the fact that like, look at how good our orcs look and how interesting their society is and who they are. And like, yeah, there's a baseline of interest there, but ultimately their story is really unimportant in the long run because it's just, here are orcs and they are also dangerous and they have their own stories. Like, okay, that's kind of cool, but the actual interesting orc characters that have an orc story is Thrall eventually, who was like his family was killed when he was young and grew up with humans as a gladiator, escaped, leads a revolution. Like he has a whole storyline. This was just like setup, and I think they were really banking. This is definitely going to be a success, and therefore we'll have plenty of time to make like movies of all the games. And it's like, I mean, it made a lot of money back in China, but like that's about it, Didn't really.
The funny thing for me is, I guess because I didn't really know much of the story, for me, for a long time afterwards, it led me to then look up and read the story because I was like, I want to know more. So I obviously had to go and do my own research about it, but it did sort of plant a seed for me to read more into it.
Fair. I mean, that's fair. Maybe you're not the only one that had that. But maybe like it worked in a thing that it got people interested in the Warcraft world. So in
Yeah.
that case, it would be a success, at least for you and the other people that happened for. But in terms of like making a big smash hit, in terms of like people really get into this, I think the idea of just starting from scratch and like day one in the story is probably not the best way to do it. But who knows? Like, it came out 2016, I guess. But as far as I know, like, no sign of any other Warcraft movies coming. Yeah. Kelly says, I feel like the Warcraft movie was not for Warcraft fans, but for young people and getting them into Warcraft. Maybe, but I feel like
Am I young people?
Yeah, I guess so. You whippersnapper. If there's any game series that can be fine just aiming for the game fans and not trying to get other people, it's Warcraft. World of Warcraft is worse, like the biggest game. Like, yeah, technically there were other games that had more players and stuff, you know, Fortnite and everything. But in terms of like a subscription thing that had like what 12 million people up like paying every month to play, that's pretty massive. And I feel like that's large enough to get enough people interested, because once you have all of those people interested, that also brings in critical mass. Plus get a couple of big actors, throw some marketing budget behind it, like have a cool dude in armor and like imply bad things in the trailer. It's cool. Yeah. I don't know. I just keep thinking like, what if they had done that? Like how different would the thing? Now, not like Blizzard, I don't think made all the decisions there. I think ultimately it was Legendary Pictures and Duncan Jones. Not our Duncan Jones, the other Duncan Jones. By the way, do you remember the skits that when they were going to be in the movie, Lewis and Duncan and the like, when they went to see Duncan Jones? Oh my god, they were so funny.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
They're out there somewhere. The clips. They basically like, okay, we're gonna be in the movie, and then they act like they're gonna act out scenes or like audition, and they act like they are in the game. So like, can anyone go to Dead Mines? Dead Mines, make a group. Need 2 healers for Dead Mines. Dead Mines, like I can join. Like, oh, we can get it. It's fine. I'll just log my alt, and then Duncan sits down. To 20 seconds, and it comes. Okay, I'm a healer. I'm a warlock now. Help me summon. Like just game for guy. And Duncan Jones is standing there shaking his head. And at some point on, they're like acting to try to impress the 2 main characters, or 2 main actors. Like, oh, we could be orcs. Look, and they're just. I found them absolutely hilarious, honestly. Yeah. It was good times.
I've remembered something. I have like a vague memory that I can't remember what it was. It was like they were doing a brand deal for something. It might have been like Diablo. It was like a remake or something, like something of like an established franchise, and they kept on having to stop because Lewis would not stop saying bad things about it. And they had to refilm it so many times because it was something like, I think he took the game out and then he just went like, smells of old game or something like that. And they were like, right, let's start again. I just remember Alex getting home that day and be like, filming took a while today.
To be fair, that is such a Lewis thing. Like, honestly, were you around? You probably weren't. This is ages ago, before I wasn't officially like in the Yogscast. I just did like consulting stuff for the Yogscast, as in I made videos for them basically. When I just been doing videos for fun, Lewis contacted me and said like, all right, hey, you want to do some Hon videos, or here's some new videos? Yeah, sure. And then at some point, there was a new hero that came out for League of Legends, and it was like, should we make a video on League of Legends? Yeah, okay, sure. We played Hearthstone with, we didn't play League of Legends, so we weren't like that interested in it. But like, well, let's be fair, let's check out the hero and talk about it. And we did, and then like the video was maybe about 3-4 minutes in before we like, mostly Lewis and also a little bit Simon, and I joined in a bit towards the end, just started basically completely shitting on League of Legends and telling you about like how dumb a game and basic it was and stupid, and it was free to play, so it was for babbies without any credit cards, and it was silly and dumb, and it's like, this video is not gonna be popular. You make a League of Legends video and start arguing. I mean, it didn't help with the fact that at the time that League of Legends was more popular than Heroes of New Earth, like by far, because you know it was and it still is. And yeah, that's just that just to me was like, all right, this is the kind of person Lewis is. Like sometimes he just has no filter and will just say, screw it, I'm just gonna be honest and talk about what I feel, even if it probably isn't for the best, you know? Like, so that's what that video came about. And I can imagine the same thing with that other game he was playing, whatever it was. Lewis is a unique guy, honestly.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to know him so much better more in the recent years, ever since basically Armed Admirals became a thing. Like streaming with him like weekly, and also playing games with him in the evening, playing Dota and stuff. Like I've gotten to know him much better than at the time. He's cool. He's a cool dude. He's weird, but he's cool. He's a cool dude.
So weird, but he's such a squishy butt as well.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never squished his butt, so I don't know. Lewis likes around that time? Yeah, well, so do I, so that checks out. Yeah.
Every time I hug Lewis, because I think he's just like the perfect height to like get a full face of hair whenever he hugs me. So I just always hear this like I'm just like got him.
Nice. Got him. Fantastic. Right. Parsec. Oh, you're waiting to connect for a while apparently.
Parsec.
Yarr.
Ooh.
Man, it's been a while since we played Ace Attorney. The great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I don't even know how long, but it must have been multiple months, I think.
It has been ages.
Yeah. Last time we played, we figured out that we were actually only just finishing case 3, not case 4. So we still have 2 cases left in this one. So it's exciting. It's exciting to give it a go. We are going to jump straight into Twisted Karma and its last bow. Or its last bow. We don't know. Could be a last bow and arrow. It's possible.
Oh.
It's going to start with an investigation, most likely, so you're the one controlling.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
The foot is a game. Eight days after that earth-shattering trial on Casimir regaining his memory. Yeah, I remember that. He's
alive.
Yeah, he's back properly now, and we had a big meet at the end with Von Helsing. That's not his name. I've forgotten everyone's name. Van Zieks. And he revealed like his. We saw the face of the person, the wax person. We got back. That was shown. Turns out that was like Kazuma who came here to kill. There's a lot. We're gonna get recapped in the beginning of the game. We usually are, thankfully. So we're gonna find out. And Kazuma regaining his memory. We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. 1st November, 10:24 a.m. Great Waterloo Hotel foyer. Foyer? Foyer. Foyer. It's just foyer, right? We'll say foyer.
Yeah.
All right, it's voice time. Time to start getting all our voices back.
I'm totally relying on Sapphire to have written down what accents was whose.
Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment.
Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time.
Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. Flashback time! Oh no.
He. Truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Wait, what? Oh, his father? His dad had
It was
come
his father
over?
that was killed, right? By the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You suppose my father knew?
That he was actually the mass murderer? The professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about.
Wait, his father
So
was...
Kazuma's father was the professor. Okay, interesting. We have forgotten everything, chat, so don't be mad at us. It's been too long. We'll get reminded soon enough.
Because this is like Van Zeek's why I'm a racist justification, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm a racist because your dad was a serial killer and he killed Kazuma's brother, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And like, this is why I'm racist, because one person did bad things.
Yeah.
There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they?
Yes, that's true.
Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well?
That's right. But for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it.
That probably means he knows them. Yeah, because like we thought he died on the ship, but then apparently he
Yeah.
didn't and like fell overboard or something, and then came like arrived in England with amnesia. Like it's very confusing, the exact details on how that happened, because
Yeah.
we saw him and we were like, he's dead for sure, and we were on that ship going to England, right? And apparently he was just fine. Like, well, not fine, but like he wasn't dead. And everyone seemingly just assumed he was dead, but we didn't throw him off the board,
Well,
like off the ship or
like,
anything, or like I don't know.
Herlock checked his pulse and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was him that was like, yep, he dead.
They're dead for sure. So it was definitely. I mean, that's the thing. Either Herlock was lying, or he was just incompetent. And to be honest, it could be both with him. So or it could be either.
Yeah.
Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is.
Oh. Oh, father.
Hello, Susato. How are you?
I didn't recognize him because he's not
No.
got his pom-pom.
Yeah, but now he looks super much like Watson from Sherlock Holmes, you know?
Wait, was that the judge?
Yes, that's the judge, yeah.
Ah,
In their different
Very
outfits,
well.
they look so much leaner, you know?
yeah.
Standing up with suits on, they look lean. Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound.
Hello, Mr. Naruto. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh no, not at all. It's my pleasure. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this madman? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before? He's the judge! I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Sashiro? A firm tap should do it. He's gonna bang his gavel. Bang his gavel. Yes. A firm tap? What? Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty. What did he slam it on? He slammed it on the bottom of the dialogue box. There we go.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Oh, you're. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Your Excellency.
Hello, Judge Jigoku?
Yeah, I'd say Jigoku probably.
Jigoku, how are you? It's been a long time.
Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick. Guilty. Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time. So, London again, after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seishiro? What are you talking about, Eugen? Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. He's the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous. He's a very affable guy, you know? He's finding other things funny. Sorry, a ministerial status. Yes, didn't you know? Seishiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on the study tour. Guilty as charged. Now there's not even a dialogue box that he slammed it on, but I'm impressed either way. Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. Yes now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Okay, converse time. So, how is the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. But it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago. I know, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we would be here drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives.
It must have been horrible to cross the ocean back in those days.
Yeah, took absolutely ages, you know. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
So you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris?
I'm starting to yawn again. What is it with Ace Attorney that makes me yawn so
Me
much?
too.
I don't get it.
Outside
Is
and
it the
looks like
voices?
It's gonna rain.
Is it the voices? Is it because
Could it
I'm
be?
talking more than usual? I don't know. I talk a lot in other streams as well. Is it because I'm trying to do different voices and that makes me yawn? I don't know. It happens only in Ace Attorney. It's very strange. And the implication when you yawn is that it's boring, but it's not boring. It's fun. It's fun and interesting.
Cozy.
Yeah. We did, yes, but only for one night. And yesterday evening, we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. I'm having a hard time getting a sort of faint Japanese accent, but arguably he shouldn't have one, maybe? Because, like, Susato and Rinosuke doesn't have one, so... Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
Oh, Hat Films, thank you for the raid. Hello.
Hello, Hat Films.
We're lawyering and doing the voices. Trying to remember the story.
Yes, that also.
It's wonderful that you're invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father.
It's thanks to Seishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited, and I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Eugene. You were close friends with the professor of forensic sciences at Major Hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Kazuma's father, I suppose. Speaking of...
Eh?
The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy. Was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Asogi.
Oh, Genshin.
Genshin Impact?
He did have quite the impact, what with all the murders.
It's true. Genshin.
You knew, I presume, Father.
Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts.
Is it like when you have to do a school project with the pros and cons? So he was trying to see both sides of the argument.
Pros of not killing? Cons of not killing. Pros of killing? Cons of killing. Let's make a list, compare. It was a close trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in their homeland. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Oh my god, please stop yawning. I don't understand. Did he know the truth about his father? Like, it started immediately. We had half an hour of talk, not a single yawn, and then we started the game, talked about the game for a bit, and then as soon as we started doing voices, so it must be something I'm doing with my voice when I'm trying to be the voice of this. I don't know. So weird. No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh? Why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then one day, he came to my office at the university and said,
I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh? What? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Van Siegs. Oh yeah, since he disappeared, it's like, he died! We thought he died! We mourned him for 3 cases, though most of the time we just said actually he's on vacation, which turned out to be kind of true, honestly. So So we knew all along, apparently? What? What? That's news to us. So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. We mourned him for longer than 3 cases, actually. He died in case 2 in the first game. So we mourned him for 6 cases. Yeah. I remember drawing Vacation Kazuma in one of my MS Paint streams.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So
he's alive.
Yeah.
As you knew, didn't you, Father?
In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you say? I never dared to even dream it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now.
Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia? That cliched story time thing? I swear that happens 10 more times in stories, 100 more times in stories than it does in real life. Like, across the entire world, you know?
Yeah.
When we first came across him here again in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it is quite miraculous. Though Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. The second I saw Lord Strongheart, I was like, big bad villain, and we'll see if that's true or not. Yeah. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Kazuma's been these past few days. You haven't gone to see him?
What?
What? Why did you not go immediately after the conversation? In the courtroom. He's like, I'm back. And it's like your best friend and like probably like Susato's crush for years, you know, like that sort of thing. Man. Though, yeah. Kazuma's even older than Ryunosuke anyway. Would it be wrong for us to go and visit him? That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Eugene here, Genshin Nosogi, and myself. We were the original 3. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady.
Oh, apparently when we last saw him, he said he needed time alone, so that's
okay.
Why.
Fair.
So we've been respectful.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe that's why Ryunosuke said, would it be wrong of us to go to visit? Because Kazuma hadn't called on us and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Kaiden, his name was. He was a good man. Yes, but then of course in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. Still need to find out more about Iris's dad, who died in the very first case. That's been such a thing that happened, and then we've gradually figured out it's Iris's dad. and we've not told her? It's like very weird, honestly. One of the things that happens in these games often, more so in Great Days Attorney, say, is that people don't just share information. Like, they just keep things hidden for some reason. I always feel like it's better to have it out in the open. Though, fair enough, like, Iris is still like 10, so,
Yeah.
When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders, I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far, and then you're facing charges yourself, didn't you?
Jeez.
Well, suffice to say that after that trial, we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly.
Just imagining him giving evidence and it just being him being like, is murder so bad?
It's really not that. And also, he's really nice. And listen, I found these pros and cons list, so he thought about it. So.
He knows it's bad, really. Like...
Yeah. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long.
I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here.
Susato-san got off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing your entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo, I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her, as you obviously have been. Oh no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down.
Aww.
Sorry? What do you mean? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... Well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes, Susato-san hinted at something like that.
Rather turbulent time at home. Oh, I thought there was going to be more.
That was literally just it, yeah. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details.
He was like, she hinted that things were bad. Cuts away. Things are bad.
Things are bad. Cuts back. Anyway, that's all the hint you're gonna get. That's it. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind.
Aw, bros.
So perhaps, very much bros. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So, that's what happened in a nutshell. That's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. One other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? Well, the thing is,
I'm so sorry that took so long.
Miss Susato.
Have we seen him before?
He rings a vague bell. I want to say he was
like
one of the jury members,
like a
maybe?
coach guy or something. I don't know. He does.
His face reminds me of a jury member, and that's about it. But yeah.
Yeah. Now then, allow us to take your bags.
Allow me to take your bags. That's his voice. That's his voice now.
I love that you're already doing 3 out of 4 voices, and
Yeah.
now I've still made you.
But they're leaving now, so it's fine. They're leaving
That's
out.
true.
Yeah.
That's when it turns out he's the next jury member, and you have to keep doing that voice.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And then
Worse, he's a witness.
he's a witness, and then these two are there in the case as well. So oh, no. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir. He's got a flask. That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense.
Oh. Oh.
Hmm?
The volume kept on appearing on my screen, and it turns out there's a volume adjuster on my keyboard that my cable was touching. I didn't even know this was a thing. Wah.
It's a thing for me too.
Learn
But
something new every day.
I don't think chat
Wait.
sees this, but I can see it. Do you see it?
Oh, that's why. Yeah, wait, is it changing for you now? Or is that on mine?
I just stopped touching it. I'm not touching it now.
Is it moving for you?
No.
Oh, it must be that mine's in the
must be
exact
yours.
same place, which makes sense.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see it. Chat doesn't see it. Or your chat might see it actually.
They
Because I
see
think
it
they
because
just see the screen.
Parsec.
Yeah. Because Parsec just shares the screen, which has been made because while it's a little bit more unsafe to share the screen than just the game, every time I tab out, otherwise it would say like the game is minimized, and that would be a bad experience for your chat, just because I'm like clicking around on my Stream Deck or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, we could justify the expense. Yes, of course. Nice. They're all so serious looking, except the Mikatoba family. They were both smiling.
I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. Really made Father very happy, I think.
Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. He was about to ask me a favor. Yeah, basically, yeah. Mr. Mikatoba was about to ask me something.
Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us.
Yes, let's go. I think ultimately in the game, it's been Herlock voice that has been alternated the most. Because sometimes it makes sense for... Because if it's Iris, Susato, Holmes, and Ryunosuke, I do Holmes and Ryunosuke. But if that leaves and there's just a bunch of characters that I voice, you take over Holmes in general. Also, sometimes when it's the reasoning spectacular, that just means if I do both, there's just a ton of me talking and none of you talking. So that's why we've been alternating Sholmes around a lot compared to the others, which we mostly stick with. Mostly, yeah. Getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Okay, can we... Should we even examine here? I don't know if we have any reason to do so. Probably can just to find out stuff, but otherwise we're probably moving stuff. What a grand place. Father's...
Sorry.
Yeah. It's your voice, technically, so...
Oh, Father suddenly seems to be enjoying relaxing in the luxuriant atmosphere.
Seems like a nice hotel, yeah.
So, should we go back to... We said we were going to go back
Yeah. Get some tea. It's a mess as usual, yeah. 1st November, Sholmes' Suite. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Wee! Do you think that's the teapot, maybe? Like piping?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
The first time Alex and I got a kettle and we didn't realize that it made a noise. It had like an artificial teapot sound.
They added it artificially. Yeah.
And we'd like just moved into our flat and we were like, okay, let's, we've moved in. Let's have our first cup of tea.
Yeah.
And we were sat on the sofa and suddenly we just heard like, ooh. We were like, what the heck is that?
You're like, there's a
This
ghost.
like fake teapot noise.
Yeah. What was that?
A man screaming in a most unflattering way.
An unflattering scream. Do you think... Could it have been Mr. Sholmes?
Oh my, I do hope not.
Oh!
Who's this? Have we seen these two before?
No, they are new. You'll be small one, I'll be big one.
Okay.
So time to figure out what ooey sounds like.
Wait, when it said, is this meant to be like a Mario
Italian,
voice?
I guess.
Like,
Yeah. I don't do it anymore. Ah, mon ami, mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hair. It's bright red.
I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Right, you two. You're coming with me now. Down to the clink. No! Not in the prison! It is dark and damp and I don't like it!
Oh, I secretly want to do his voice now, but no, I like it again. Buff! The darkness is my friend. I am not scared.
But you're always scared of the darkness.
Shut your mouth, you idiot! I will sit quietly in the dark and plan our next daring heist.
I don't like this. I don't like it. Well, tough. We've finished this down the yard. Now get moving. Yeah. Watch out, Chris Pratt. I'm coming for you.
I mean, you're already doing a better voice than him, so...
And Linda Belcher or whatever her name is. Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. Everyone's saying that it sounds like the wife from Bob's
it sounds like the wife from
Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, you great detective. Gina makes the fine detective herself, doesn't she?
If there's anyone that sounds like it's definitely not Sato. But yes, I like it.
Oh, Susie and Bruno.
Hello, Iris. We're home.
Well, did you find... Did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon.
Stop laughing at the word daddy. Right, it's a perfectly fine word, particularly if someone is 10. Briony, please. Stop it. I hate what the internet has done to the word daddy. Why? It was a fine word. Why is everyone so horny?
I hate what it's done too, daddy.
God
yes,
damn
of
it,
course.
internet. Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, all that remains now is the greatest of problems known to man. Oh, he's red-haired now too.
Oh.
But before you concern yourself with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellows? That is very red.
Very red.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say.
For the along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea? Whatever is going on here today?
In that case, let us sit and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. All right.
Okay.
Oh, the lie you told. Did you see that? One of the options was the lie you told. About Kazuma, probably. Apparently, we've also waited 8 days to talk to him about that.
Yeah. Mr. Sholmes, who were the two gentlemen that were here before?
Oh, just a pair of petty criminals? Nothing of significance. They are definitely significant. They weren't.
Yeah.
They didn't make a voice, animations, and everything for random people that will not be seen anymore. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions.
When the mood takes you?
All manner of infractions? But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out.
Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes.
But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally.
Outside, my light broke, so now I have to just go by daylight, which means I have my curtain open and my computer looks out through the curtain and there's like a bus stop directly outside. So I get really distracted every time there's people there, but because of the angle I'm looking at, I think occasionally I just look directly into the camera. But it's just because I like people watching, so occasionally I'll just be like, oh, they got a dog, oh, I wonder where they're going. You should have asked Gregsy to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party.
I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha! I have it. A bungler. That's the word. It's a good job he's not here to say that. Here you say that. So those redheads had been up to no good.
How comes they're called Sherlock Sholmes isn't the character public domain? I think it's just Ace Attorney silliness.
Well,
it
it actually isn't.
Reason.
There's a whole story about this, right? Because yes, normal time Ace Attorney silliness is absolutely a good enough reason. But in the original Japanese version, he was just called Sherlock Holmes. But then the estate that owns Sherlock Holmes is notoriously litigious. Like they sue everyone who tries to use Sherlock Holmes unless you pay them money to use Sherlock Holmes, even though he is in the public domain. Because the idea is that only X amount of books are in the public domain and stuff that was released afterwards isn't. So they often claim that if Sherlock Holmes is characterized in a certain way, that is from the later books, and therefore you need to pay royalty, whatever. So often you get battle of them trying to sue everyone for using Sherlock Holmes because they use it. Oh, they're using it from our books, and they're like, no, we're just using it from things. No, but you see, because he has emotions, he's from ours or whatever. There's also a deeper story at one point. Then there was like a writer rival or something to Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote about Arsène Lupin, who's like a master criminal. And in his books, to sort of piss off Arthur Conan Doyle or whatever, there was a bumbling, stupid detective called Sherlock Sholmes in there that, like, the master criminal always made a fool out of, basically. So, ultimately, when the translation time came here, they just went with Sherlock Sholmes, which is a pretty straightforward, just swapping them around. But, yeah, that's what they went with. It also works well with Hairlock, so it works too. Yeah, the story the story around there to find if people are interested. You can Google about Sherlock Sholmes and the origin of that name and everything. I found it kind of interesting how it works, but ultimately it comes down from the estate that owns the Sherlock rights to Sherlock Holmes now, which I don't know exactly what estate that is. Like rights always move over tons of different times. They are now basically, we don't get any money from a lot of it, so we'll try to everything we can to make money from anyone trying to use Sherlock Holmes. This is a classic character.
I wonder what the men did. We're
We'll work our
building
way
up
down
to
to
the
it.
lie.
Yeah, exactly. What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before?
Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes?
How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Oh god, here we go. Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere. Possibly. Ace Attorney's gonna go into deep religion talk. Oh no.
That's the point. I was looking up the what's it called? The Creation Experience or whatever. It's in Kentucky, and it's a Christian museum where they have like, I think it's about like how dinosaurs were also created by God. So they have like pictures of the like typical museum things, but it's like the Garden of Eden, but it's like a woman stood next to a velociraptor and stuff like that. But when I was searching for that, because I was telling Alex about it, when I was searching for it, there's a thing called the Ark Experience, and they've literally built like a replica of Noah's Ark to the proportions listed in the Bible, and it like is actually really impressive. I was just there like, that's a big ark. Like,
yeah,
I'd look at it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, this entire idea of like, I think like the idea of like, oh, things was created by God, yeah, for sure. But what of dinosaurs? Yeah, he created them too, just for fun. Or the people who say like he created them to test us, you know, the people who are so sure about like, oh yeah, Earth's only been alive for 6,000 years or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, it's like you can believe in God and still believe in 6 billion years of evolution. Like I feel like you can believe in both. Like I don't understand why you have to disregard so much science stuff just because you also believe in God. That part I always found weird. Like because people who believe in God, like I personally don't, but people do. That's cool. But where I start questioning it is when people start disbelieving so much of stuff that has been at least currently scientifically proved, which obviously anything being proven in science, like it could turn out to be false. That's the entire point. But it's like, well, surely the God could still have been alive and things still happened. You know, like I don't honestly, both couldn't mix. Because I feel like at that point, isn't that better? Like you can still have your belief without having to try to disregard what the current science and the world is teaching you. Notaro says because the Bible says no. Maybe, but like that's the thing. God himself didn't write the Bible. So why could it not have possibly been that like the people were mistaken and misinformed when they wrote the Bible? You know, like even while God still exists in theory. I don't know. Like it's weird to me that like people decide so quickly to just make a big shift and become opposed, as if like where you could just combine it and still have your belief and faith without having to like willfully ignore, you know, science and information.
If anything, like creating things that could evolve. I didn't think of the word evolve then. I was like, evolutionize is like more miraculous.
Yeah, I think so. I think the idea of like someone planning stuff basically 6 billion years in the future, like God, but yeah, like God's like, all right, I have a 10 billion year plan for this planet. We're gonna start with this, blink, this tiny little cell in the water. It's like one day, little friend, you're gonna be Jeff Bezos or whatever, you know, like gradually, like planning ahead of time for that thing to evolve. Like, that's more impressive rather than thing. Viking Cookie says that the reason that people say Earth is only 6,000 years or so is because they added up the ages of all the descendants of Adam mentioned. And I'm like, that seems like a bad way of doing it. Like, I feel like maybe the problem isn't so much with God or the belief in God. The problem is the slavish devotion to the Bible and assuming that book has all the necessary information and nothing is left out,
Yeah.
and everything is 100% accurate, and everything was. It's like even if you believe in the Bible, surely you can imagine that the Bible has a bunch of information and stories and things and history of what happened at the time, but there's more to it than that. Like I don't feel like that's too wrong, even if you're a believer. But I mean, maybe there is. Maybe for them it's only Bible and nothing else. I don't know. Because when you accept one science thing, you can't go back. You'll have to accept other ones too. Well, there's nothing quite
You
that
do
proves.
get like
Yeah.
the Church of Science and stuff now. I think not Scientology, but it's like I think there are parts of Christianity that do embrace it a bit more in a more logical way than
Yeah.
the
I hate
dinosaur
that
place in
Scientology named their religion, or rather their cult, after science. Like, there's nothing science about that cult, you know? That's the thing. That's so weird.
Is it because it came from a science fiction
Fiction
book?
author,
Is the
basically,
name
yeah.
in there or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... Religion is obviously a thorny subject for a lot of people, but to me, I've always been of the opinion and like, hot take, like, believe what you want, just don't, just don't treat other people bad because of it, ultimately. But yeah, that's... I'm definitely very unique in that take, anyway.
It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops.
Wait, what? We were apes? What an idiot. I've never been an ape. Indeed. And from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man.
Our lot? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes?
Why, is it not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent. Yes.
True.
Yes.
True.
Like, Herlock speaks the truth, honestly. Rent. Ha.
Darwin's asking why his hair is red. We have no idea.
We have no idea why his hair
He
is
just
red.
appeared.
Yeah.
But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Tuspel's only the other day?
Ha. A large sum. One potted herb for Iris and a new motor car for me later. Oh, I see. I barely bought anything. Just a little herb for Iris, a car for me. And it has all quite disappeared, I assure you.
Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it.
Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. And what was the answer?
Crime.
Why, there's a substantial clue before your very eyes. His hair.
Don't tell me. Let me see.
Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. In the end? It's been stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. Thank you very much, Pekui, for subscribing.
I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on much longer. I guess we're just going straight into that, alright. Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us, I will now tell you something of first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. I think it's pronounced won't, even though it isn't won't with an apostrophe. I think it is still pronounced won't. The case aboard the SS Briony in January.
He's gone all Swedish.
Yeah. Casimir wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a long time. Won't is not pronounced won't. Won't is pronounced want.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up.
You said it right the first time. Want.
My want.
Want.
This one says won't.
Oh.
Won't. Oh no, this one is the wrong one.
Want.
It's saying both in different places. We'll say want instead.
English.
Say that.
Do what you like.
Yeah, basically. It seems like it. Want remix when? Soon. The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you now know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew. Was it? But how? After they'd carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Why would they listen to you?
Yeah. Oh, how horrible.
It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong.
Oh.
I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes? Oh, it was Mr. Sholmes. It wasn't Mr. Sholmes, it was Mr. Sholmes. Are we done now? I feel like we have so many things to still talk about.
Yeah.
I guess we examine his hair? No, we can't. Okay.
Nope, he's disappeared.
I really wanted to maybe examine Iris and talk to Iris. Does that work? Maybe. No. Okay. Strange. Examine the mask, I guess.
Yes.
Or the newspaper.
This looks like last week's edition.
What's that article circle in red ink there?
In an advertisement column, it says the Red-Headed League.
The Red-Headed League? What's that? Apparently that is a Sherlock Holmes thing.
Don't know. I've never heard of it before, but
Is something on my face? Clearly this is something to do with that. Lively hair. The Red-Headed League. It seems somewhat suspicious in nature. What is that mask? The mask, oh, it's Casima's mask when he was assigned to Lord Ranceeks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up.
Jesse says, "Is this why Sholmes has Squid Gamed his hair?" Yes.
Yeah. My God, that was so weird in Squid Game as well.
I never watched it
No?
because I watched the first episode and I was like, "This is not for me." But I was interested in the story. I just couldn't watch the gory stuff.
Yeah.
So I would get Alex to watch it, and then he would recap the episodes for me.
Nice. There's apparently another show that's very similar to it. Nilesy mentioned it to me ages ago, and I always said, like, if I ever feel like Squid Game again, I'll watch this. Called Alice in Borderland, I think it's called. That basically is very similar to Squid Game. I heard it's very good.
Seen adverts for that, I think.
I haven't, but I've heard it's good, so I might watch it.
You ought to give it back to him, I suppose.
But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? I can't have a feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. Why would he be cold? Why are you guys not friends?
Did he remember him when he...
Yeah, I think so. It's weird. The whole thing is
But
weird.
isn't he your best friend?
Answer! Answer, Inosuke! Why we keep reaching these important things and then they just stop talking. Why?
Anything else that's standing out as a...
Not mega standout, no. Maybe on the right side? Not really. Like, I think we've seen all of this before.
dog?
If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. No! It's a dog!
The doggo. To think that every single one of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes blossomed from this very machine. Ah, it's such a dreamy thought.
I actually had a go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Oh no!
Mr. Naruhodo, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again.
Now I made Susato-san angry as well.
Hey. Oh wait, is there any more? Now we found the newspaper? Is no.
What the hell?
No.
Do we present
unless...
something?
Maybe.
We present the newspaper, maybe. Present the armband.
Or the
See what happens.
armband.
Yeah, always. It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. To the Red-Headed League. Does that strike you in some way? Like, we can see your hair, Herlock. It's really not that... I was thinking that just maybe it might be related. To your bright red hair. Finally. So, you noticed? Yes, of course we noticed. So, at last you've learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? In the first instance, in quite indispensable observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast? Okay, fine.
Aha.
So, what is the left Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled? Now he's just holding his non-existent hat. You notice it in the paper, then? That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? Jesus. Someone just drove past really loudly with this motorcycle. Did you see, there's... Okay, you might have seen this, but I'm going to tell you the joke anyway. A man's car breaks down, stands at the side of the road, like, waving for help. Ultimately, no one stops, and eventually, coming by is a witch, classic witch, hat, you know, long nose, etc. And the old man goes like, hello, Miss Witch. Do you think you can fix my car? It's like, well, I'm not sure. She opens it up. And then she jams 2 brooms into the engine and goes, "There you go. Now your car can go broom broom."
Oh, I saw a little comic of that.
Yeah. I saw the comic too. I just had to rewrite it in my head for a joke instead. Yeah, I figured you might have seen it, but yeah, it was really cute. That emote, Dak has an emote. I'll see if I can. Well, I can't. If anyone checks my chat, Dak has an emote from his own channel. That is basically him, great assistant going objection. It's really smooth. I didn't realize GIFs could have like that many frames to feel that smooth. It's tiny, mind you, so unless you know where you're looking, it's hard to see. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
I always imagine like Twitch emotes to be very limited frames, but they can be even. Like Sapphire's little dancing chicken, super cool, for example. I guess you can have GIFs. One. Yeah. I think GIFs just baseline have a frames per second that you can't go above, I think. But that's about it. Anyway. The Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. That's a bit vague. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me.
But listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week.
Oh my.
Oh my.
That's a lot. That's a lot at this time. Just for having red hair.
Yeah.
But why? What are they paying people for? That, I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement.
But surely every red-headed person in the country would be flocking to join in that case. You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once. So will I. Just on the off chance.
That might be stretching a point, I think.
The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see.
Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can. But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away. How lucky.
Wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes.
So you decided to try to join in his place? Correct. I mean, look at me. My hair is red. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. Well, once. In the TV show called Squid Game. So why? Why did it have to go so wrong? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruto, though it pains me to admit it.
Blunder? What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes?
I'm glad you asked, Mrs. Sato. Why, you see, atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. Okay. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. So dyeing, then. Yeah. Chemistry? What do you think dyeing is if not chemistry, Sholmes? I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one's hair a flame like red.
Like Kvoth.
What?
From Name of the Wind.
Oh, I didn't know you read that book. Oh, you do know I know you read the book because you had it for the book club. That's a really long book for a book club, by the way.
It was.
Yeah. Would you like to try it? It will make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. No, thank you. I think I'll pass.
But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Oh, I should have never... Why am I thinking I'm...
I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say...
But of course, to earn £4 a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. That degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely.
Oh, anyway, Hurley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members.
So what went wrong? The whole park was choked with red-headed folk like a Custer's orange barrow. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?"
Aww.
Oh. So naturally, I had no choice but to reply, "Shh, don't give me away." After which I could do little else but turn and leave. Oh no!
Aww.
Then this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. What?
Oh dear, what a disaster for Hurley and those two redheads.
Wow. I got so mad I read it, so I went out to find some red-headed criminals I could turn in.
Mr. Sholmes, you mentioned before you're expecting a guest today?
Indeed, Mrs. Sato. That is correct. Not another one of those red-headed gentlemen that were here before. Not at all. They were petty villains. The guest I am expecting is a client. Oh? A young gentlewoman who wishes to appoint the services of this great detective, no less.
Oh, how wonderful, Mr. Sholmes.
You must stay and observe the fashion in which a great detective receives his customers. Mm-hmm. Must we? I have you in my clutches now, Rent. Just as I have you in my clutches, redheads.
That hearty laugh is masking rather sinister thoughts, I feel. You know, the lady isn't due for another hour yet. Don't feel as though you must wait around if you have other things to do. In other words, yeah, story's done here. Okay.
So I guess we're going... We can go to the Lord Chief Justice's office and ask about Kazuma.
Oh.
Well...
Hello.
Not Kazuma, the other guy. 1st November, British Supreme Court.
Hello, Kirsty.
No. Of course Kirsty shows up. Someone get the water spray.
Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard.
There's nothing for Seeks to throw his leg up onto, at least. True.
Gonna put it on Strongheart's shoulder.
God. I see. Excellent work, thank you.
You're welcome, my lord.
What's Lord Van Seeks doing here? No, I don't, Susato. No.
My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say?
This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension. Oh, they turned to see us. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me. What the fuck?
His vision is based on movement.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure.
From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here.
Jeez. How about you dress in blue? Like a certain descendant lawyer of yours. Now then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Ugh, kill me now. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room at such a perfect temperature. The room temperature room. This is the room. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly. As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madam.
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited.
Like it says, fun fact, ninjas were often dressed in dark blue to blend in with the night sky and not in fact black. Yeah, because ultimately I think pure black clothes stand out easier. Because it's not pure black in general. It's got a more like grayish blue, you know? That plushie is meant to be a guy. It's Alucard from Castlevania. My god. He has his long blonde hair because that's what Alucard has. And he's super cool. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord Van Six.
I will attend at once. No, don't go. He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he?
I know. But I haven't done anything, have I? No, but he's just an asshole. Briony, Lord Van Six is an asshole through and through, from beginning to end. These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right-hand man of many years was recently put out of action in a spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service?
Mr. Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Scythe.
Ah, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, Fear not, you've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further. That would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. That's just how he looks. Lord Van Six is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. That's something a lot of people say wrong. They say holding down the fort. But it's just supposed to be holding the fort. Holding down implies that if you don't hold it down, it's gonna get up and escape. Which is not what forts do. But what you ever do is you hold the fort when someone else is away.
What if it's a balloon fort?
I'll give you that. But then I think you have to clarify that it's a balloon fort. You hold down the balloon fort while I go... yeah, you have to specifically say that. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh. Missing.
No.
God damn it.
Become of Kazuma-sama now?
Well, time to ask questions. Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? There are even that many people in the world? Yes.
As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital Tokyo is 2 million.
Jeez. That number has grown today.
Yep.
I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. Holding down the fort is also correct. It means maintaining the siege so the defenders can't go out to gather supplies. I don't buy it. I think holding down the fort is not what you would say for maintaining a siege. I think that is a retroactive thing that people have altered later on to make holding down correct. That's what I think, at least. The event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. Tokyo's population today is 37.2 million. Yeah.
Blimey.
It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here, at the heart of our great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something.
You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. Really? The only person?
Not like other boys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm unique. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. Yeah. Dr. Said. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Said at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously. Nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Unintended repercussions of our trial.
What's the thing? Oh, you know when you just have like the tiniest little crumb of a memory and you're like,
Yeah.
What is that from? There's a thing where someone does, oh, was it maybe like who are the guys who do they do like a stand-up thing, Schwartz and...
Middleditch and Schwartz?
Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yeah.
Is it them that do a thing where one of them does something really bad and then they just say oopsie doopsie or something? Where is oopsie doopsie from?
Yeah. Oopsie doopsie is from the parking lot wedding. When they got robbed by a clown because it was Batman, and the thing he said was oopsie doopsie.
Yeah, oopsie doopsie.
Yeah. The other thing is maybe the pitch meeting videos where one producer guy points out a plot hole, writer guy says, oops, and then the producer guy says, oopsie, and that's also something. But maybe that's not where you saw it.
I think it's the Middleditch as well, the oopsie doopsie.
Yeah. Middleditch and Schwartz is
think of that.
hilarious, actually. It's really good.
I wish there was more. I really liked it.
Oh, I clicked something. Yeah, I thought it was super funny. Like, apparently Middleditch is kind of an asshole these days, which is a bit of a shame. But I thought the actual
he's
thing...
a fan of yours.
I know, so I heard. But yeah, apparently, like, he was kind of a dick to people in recording, and I don't know if he did anything truly bad, but like he was like, basically, people don't like him so much anymore. But I thought Middleditch and Schwartz was hilarious. Like, I rewatched it recently because it's just really good, really good.
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I was gonna see TV.
History.
That's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
We simply couldn't have overlooked what happened, though.
Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way.
I was going to say, have you ever met anyone? But that's not what I mean. Have you
I have
ever
met
a
some
human?
people, yeah.
Do you ever worry that what if you met someone on like who was like a Iridian stan, and they just happened to meet you on a bad day, and then they go around being
All the
like,
time.
Yeah, I
All
met him.
the time.
What a stink butt.
Yeah, I do worry about that.
He was so
I was
rude.
like, what if like one day I'm just like I'm just gonna put on my shitty sweatpants and go to the shop, and I will have like a headache and stuff, and I'll go there and I'll look like shit, and then like I maybe accidentally bump into someone, and I'll be like, watch it, dude, and like ugh, or something. Maybe I'm just in a really bad mood. Anyway, it turns out they knew who I was, and then immediately to Twitter, it's like, oh, met Rithian today, such an asshole, looked like shit too. It's like, oh no. Like, oh my god, yeah.
I think about because there was years ago there was a Reddit post. I think this might have been before, or maybe it was when I just started streaming. There was a Reddit post of someone being like, "Oh, I work in the shop that like Briony and Alex go to."
Yeah, I remember reading
that. Every time I go to that shop now, which is quite often, I'm just like,
is
it
them?
Today?
Is it that person?
Because if I ever just go in and I'm just like if Alex and I are talking about work or something, and I just won't think. You just say stuff, don't you? Just be like, oh, this happened, and blah. And then I'm like, oh no, what if
like leak?
it gets back to...
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, I streamed Rithian today. I hate that guy. And then someone like, someone's like, oh my god, gossip. Rithian, Brian actually hates Rithian. And then that post somewhere that goes on Reddit, and then it's like, so I heard today that Brian, he hates Rithian. And then I'll be told later, and I'll be like, Brian, is that true? You'll say, no, of course not. But secretly, I will think about that for the rest of my years.
Kirsty says, I saw Rithian in a grocery store in Sweden yesterday. I told him how cool it was to meet him in person, but I didn't want to be a douche and bother him and ask for a photo or anything. He said, oh, like you're doing now? I was taken aback, and all I could say was, huh? But he kept cutting me off and going, huh?
Huh?
And closing his hand shut in front of my face. Is that true?
Well, at a certain point then I did need to go and buy some candy bars, and they were tricky to scan, so I kept complaining about electronical interference, and then I yawned really loudly.
Unbelievable.
This is a good copy pasta, and I appreciate Kirsty for posting it. I like it. It's good. It's a good copy pasta. About Lord Van Seek's apprentice. Ah, yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends.
Lovers?
No! How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Seek's in the first place? Renoske can do better, honestly. It came... Well, no, sorry. He can't do better than Kazma. Of course not. But yeah, I was thinking of Seeks for some reason. It came about 3 months ago. God damn it. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Wait, was the vessel large or were the goods large?
Good question. Though wouldn't you think that if the goods are large, the vessel would also be large so they can fit all the goods on there?
True. It's like yesterday I was looking at Airbnbs that I can't afford. Is that a normal thing to do? But I found this like manor house on Airbnb, and it was like there's a... Oh wait, I sent the picture to Kirsty. It says, it has a picture of like a massive cloakroom, and it says, the master suite is complemented with a spacious, fully mirrored dressing room, complete with a 36-inch TV, which can be watched from the giant egg bath. And I was like, finally, somewhere to wash my giant
eggs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like it.
Oh my, so he stowed away to get here.
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too.
Oh.
Other than the fact that he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zieks. That way I could keep an eye on him. You find a random Eastern guy and decide, Lord Van Zieks, you take care of this guy. Like, what?
Who should look after the random
Who should look this
Asian man?
completely random guy out of nowhere?
Notorious racist Van Zieks. He'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
Also, why? Like, it was literally some random dude. Unless, of course, like, did he know that he knew about law? Was that something? I don't remember who I am, but I remember I know about law. Was that a thing? Like, because
I know what it was.
What?
He had his armband.
Yes.
He presented
clearly-
him with his armband, and he was like, ah.
We'll put him with Lord Van Zieks. But then, why the mask? I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zieks with the tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice. Okay. But now it's like, why is your dude has a mask? That's a much better question than why is he from the East? Jesus.
When he said, why the mask, it reminds me of that line in Princess Bride when it's like, masks are very comfortable, actually. I think everyone will be wearing them one day. I'm like, how did they know?
To be fair, he had a mask literally on the opposite part of the face than we did.
True.
He had it literally up there, but we had it down here, so... Rinoska says what I'm thinking, because it was so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask. He's proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zieks. I have high hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea. But I believe he's left London for the time being. God damn it, Kazma! You just quit talking. I take it you also didn't know. The man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. Kenshin Asogi.
Father crimes.
What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out that my friend's father was... Flashback time. No? Ah yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
Such awful murders, and unprecedented. Using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon?
Oh,
Oh, that's why it's the
that's why it's the Hound of Baskerville. Hound of Hell! And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government.
That reminds me,
Yeah?
Mark Holmes was
Holmes,
telling
Mark
me the other
Holmes.
day about the Black Shuck, which was a this is years and years and years ago, in ye olden days. There was, I think it was in a town called Beccles or something, but there was like a town, something went wrong with the town. There was like an earthquake or a storm or I don't know, something. And so they all got together in the town hall to like shelter, and apparently this big black dog came in and like killed 7 people and ran
Jesus.
off into the night and was never seen again. But my betting is that basically there was a guy who got like a little bit attacked by a tiny dog, and then because and the story just grew from there. Every time he told it, it was like, no, it was massive. Like 7 people died. Because maybe he just got like chased up a tree by like the neighbor's tiny little like...
A little chihuahua or whatever. But like, okay, so they just invented 7 people dying?
I don't know how the actual story happened,
Yeah.
but Mark was he loves this story.
About 7
If ever there
people
was a
dying
noise,
to
he'd just be
evil
like,
dog.
it's the Shuck.
Yeah.
The Black Dog of Bungie, yeah, that's the one.
Bungie. Okay.
Spelled Bungay.
Yeah. I feel like I've always liked hellhounds. Hellhounds are one of my favorite fantasy monsters, type things. I think they're really cool. I think the whole fiery, like burning eyes and like large evil dogs are really scary. I think they're scary and cool. I like them. They're one of my go-to standards.
I don't like them being in games because I don't like hurting dogs.
Yeah.
Even when they're big,
but
like.
even if what if they're
horrible
evil and trying to kill
skeletal
you?
dogs.
It's
They're
self-defense.
still good boys.
Not every
No
dog is a
bad
good
dogs,
boy.
just bad owners.
I don't know, man. There's I don't want to get into this really, so I probably shouldn't mention it. But pit bulls, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard any breed of dog being argue about as much as pit bulls online. Like half the people in the world hate pit bulls, consider them super evil and violent, and they should all be, put down because they're violent and they kill people or whatever. And then the other half, okay, not the half, because obviously there's a third, but yeah, and another third is like, no, they're the great. Pit bulls are sweet and lovely and the best and super cute and fantastic. And they get so passionate about that argument, which fair enough, because like if a pit bull literally, there was a story recently about a woman, like basically half her face got bit off because she was trying to get, this is a dark story, I don't know why I'm telling, trying to like pull her pit bull off her kids, who would be, I think, killed by the pit bull dog. So she lost both kids and half her face to it. And then I hear that story and it's like, what? Do you draw a conclusion from that story at all? Or like, because it's one of those things, right? Can you, because some people will say like, okay, well, how come we hear so much stories about people being bad, doing bad things? And I'm like, probably because they're pit bull and that's a pre-existing conversation that's already being had. Like, I'm sure there are other dogs that do things like that, other dogs that be trained to be evil, other dogs that just naturally are aggressive. I don't necessarily think that's the thing, but you hear about it more when it's pit bulls. But on the other hand, you then also have the defenders who immediately go jump right in. And then as someone who's sitting on the side, the other third, you're like, I have no idea what to think about pit bulls at this point, because some people say they are like the devil's dogs and will murder everyone, and some people are there the nicest possible dogs. And then constantly you hear stories of either thing. Either something bad happened or either something good happened. It's like, I have no idea what to even start thinking about, honestly. It's
I think
bizarre.
the problem is certain breeds. I'm going to say this in a very like, what's it called? Sweeping statement way, because obviously there's nuance.
There's obviously a lot more
But
to it. I feel like everyone.
Yeah. But I think certain breeds, a certain sort of person will be attracted to a certain type of breed. And because I think this is right, I think pit bulls are one of the few dogs that have locking jaws. So once they lock onto a target, their jaw will actually physically lock.
Yeah.
And therefore they're very good attack dogs. Sadly, dogfighting dogs, because of that. So that's why certain people, the sort of people who will cut their ears off, dock their ears, dock their tails, those sorts of people will go for those breeds, like pit bulls, staffy, that sort of chunky muscle dog that is good for that sort of reason.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what gives them the bad name. Because there are certain dogs, like if you got a toy poodle, you're not going to put that into a dog fight because that is just not inherent in their genes to have those.
Sure, like
whereas,
a small, like obviously that's also true. But on the other hand, also like in the case of that woman with the pit bull, right? Like I don't think it would be fair to say that woman raised her pit bull to be like
was it actually
an aggressive
hers?
dog. Yeah, apparently it was her dog.
Oh, I thought it was just like a random dog in the street that she got. Oh, that's
That's really scary. Again, one random story. I haven't gone deep into detail, so maybe I'm entirely wrong at this point. And it's a complicated issue thing, but yeah, I think that's part of the thing, right? Like a lot of people say that pit bulls are lovely. It's all about the trainer, but then okay, but maybe there are certain dog breeds that are maybe a little bit too aggressive and too dangerous and too genetically predisposed to be a certain way, that maybe they shouldn't be kept as pets and companions because
it's like
of
the way they
how
train
it usually happens.
beagles to do fox hunting. It actually
Yeah.
goes against a dog's nature for how they would naturally hunt in a pack, but it's trained into them, and then they become difficult to rehome afterwards because they've just been rewired, and it's not fair on those dogs. I think you should have to do a college course before you can get a dog. Show you're going to be responsible.
I mean, I think there's some things like that is better to be trained for. But then again, you don't need to be trained to have a kid. So, you can be a horrible parent because there's no training for that,
Yeah.
Animals are animals after all, sometimes unpredictable. I guess so. I don't know. I find like it's a conversation specifically about pit bulls and animals alike, where I think it's too easy to go to one side or the other. But on the other hand, I also don't want to be like Mr. Enlightened centrism. So like, I think both sides are right. Like whatever. Like, I personally probably wouldn't want a pit bull or be near pit bulls because as a species, they are more dangerous. If I see a pit bull, I have to trust that they have been very well trained and won't be aggressive. And I'm sure there are tons of them around, but they are a lot scarier as a thing,
Like, I worked with dogs for like 2-3 years, and there is just a certain thing of like, there were times when if I was working with, say, like there was one particular husky that was unpredictable, and a husky that's unpredictable is scary, whereas I worked with so many chihuahuas that were unpredictable. But at the end of the day, if a chihuahua bit me, I was a bit like, eh.
Yeah. It's like a tiny
In fact,
thing,
the only dog that ever bit me was a Yorkshire Terrier, but she was so old and she didn't have any teeth, and I was just like, I know you're trying to savage me, but you just can't.
Yeah.
I love that dog so much.
Despite
she was one of
her
my
attacking
favorites. She hated everyone, but I loved her.
She hated everyone and attacked me, but I loved her.
Her name would spread throughout the hospital when she was being booked in for that day. People would be like, oh my gosh, no, she's here today. And I'd always be like, yay, my friend's here. Wow. And then I'd see her and she'd be like, and I'd be like, hello.
Man, that's interesting.
It was lovely.
Yeah. I just think in general, like, obviously some people get large dogs specifically because they are strong and can defend you, there's a matter of safety, walking around with a big dog, will give you a sense of safety. You have someone there to protect you and help you just in case something goes bad. And I would never say to people you can't have that. But on the other hand, I'm also like, if I were to go up to someone and they have a big giant dog there, like, I'm not afraid of dogs, but if there's a big giant dog that looks scary, like, I have to trust that the person with it has that thing trained very well, and that it won't attack me because it perceives me as being a threat or a danger or something, And that to me, it's like walking around with someone with a gun, If someone has a gun, like, it's probably fine, but what if they don't? Right? What if they don't know how to use it, or they have bad trigger discipline or anything? Like, things can happen. Like, I saw a horrible video recently. This is becoming like the dark story, but of a woman.
Discomfort zone.
Yeah, sorry. That's our name of our podcast. We just tell bummer stories and things that is bad. There was some woman in America who got really annoyed at her neighbor's dog, and since she was a horrible person, she decided to go shoot the dog. So she went to grab her gun and went to go shoot the dog, but instead hit her own 5-year-old boy. And so she shot her kid instead because she tried to shoot the dog. And I'm like, what is wrong with the people over there? Or at least her. I mean, not everyone, of course, but that's just one of those things where, like, a little dog is annoying, and because everyone has guns available, it just, oh man, yeah, it's crazy. Primal
I
Sarp says,
remember.
I worked at a vet and got bit in the face by a mini Australian Shepherd, only by team. We had a pit bull rescue as a client and all their dogs were lovely. There you go. There you go. But that's the thing, right? Like I am certain that the vast majority of the pit bulls are super nice, right? I'm sure they are. But then again, the vast majority of all dogs are super nice, for the most part, I imagine. But I guess it's just one of those things, right, where a pit bull inherently can be more dangerous because of their strength, inherent aggressiveness, the locking jaws, etc. So that if you get a pit bull that is badly trained or spooked or gets aggressive, it's worse. Like you said, if a little chihuahua goes to like, yeah, whatever. But if a giant one shows around, yeah. Dax dog is a pit and was a rescue. She is perfect around people, loves everyone, and is a big ham. Oh, that sounds lovely. I like dogs. I do.
Staffies and pit bulls are actually like, when done right, they are some of the most loyal family dogs. They're like muscly golden retrievers. Like a hench golden retriever. They can be that, and that's what they should be.
Yeah.
That they have been.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I were to have a dog, I would want a big dog. Like, I don't really want like a small dog. Like, I want like at least, golden retriever size, kind of like something big and sturdy that you can grab up and hug and like, I don't know. That's which is opposite to like a cat. Like, you want the cat to be tiny in general. Well, not tiny, not like a kitten, but yeah. A dog you can ride to work. I mean, I have to be a pretty big dog in my case. I'm a rather large fellow. So a hellhound, yeah. I would love a hellhound. But then I would be the one like with the pit bull owner. Well, I have to assure people, no, he's trained. He's trained. He may have been spawned in the pits of hell and have lived for thousands of years hunting down sinners, but he's actually fine. He's lovely. Just don't pet him in the burning spots and you'll be fine. Yeah. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then. It can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him. And neither do the citizens of London.
My motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? Serial killer, not mass murderer. There's a difference. Serial killer is multiple murders at like different times.
In the same style?
Well, not necessarily, but yeah, usually, yeah. That's more like a gimmick circuit, but like multiple murders like over a period of time. Then you're a serial killer. While mass murderer is someone who kills a lot of people at once, generally, The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed, anyway.
I mean, with how the UK is at the moment, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
literally, I've never seen so many. Yeah, I was gonna say, when you like go around England at the moment, there's so many things that just say that.
Yeah. It's I understand, because to be honest, like, as a society, we can only be pushed so far, and I think a lot of places are now reaching the limit of what they will allow anymore.
It's gonna be like the Netherlands, when they ate the king.
That was a long time ago, but yeah. I don't know, like, I don't know if society, the Western society these days, will truly have a violent uprising. I don't know if that'll ever be the case.
France probably will. They don't do riots by half. The French
that's true.
They go in when they go in.
Yeah, and arguably I think, I don't know, I always think the same thing should be done in the other countries as well, because the government should be afraid of its people, not the other way around.
Yes.
Like, there should always be the case that you are here to help us, and if any point you are not doing well, we'll try to vote you out at first, and then if things that doesn't help, there will be violence. And that sounds like a horrible thing to advocate, but if you're being ruled by a tyrannous ruling group of people, you have to use eventually the resources you have, which at this point is there's more of us than there are of them, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not advocating violence, but at some point, like, you have to fix what's wrong with the world. You can't just sit there and complain and hope to vote where votes don't do anything. I don't know. It's weird. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it?
Seems very similar, doesn't it? The idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. Oh.
Damn it. This keeps
Get
happening.
out.
It feels like storylines should continue, and let's present our armband. Or maybe the newspaper as well, but armband anyway. Could I show you this little stronghold? I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence.
What?
Oh, but it's my armband.
This is important.
Especially when the evidence in question is so dull. Dull? Ah, so that's the real reason.
I guess we could try and present this, but I have a feeling
Sure.
he's going to be like,
Yeah, it's the same thing.
nah. Blah, 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 blah. Fine.
Fine then.
Oh. You're dull.
Yeah, you're dull. This is a fun piece of evidence. There's no point examining, I think, so we just move. Hotel is
wonder
probably
if-
nothing sweet. I guess we can go to the legal consultancy. Or it says, shall we return home? So I guess we go here. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Aha! Here is my guest now, my latest client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. Rent. I must be willing to
Apparently
accept any
there's
case, no matter how unstimulating.
Apparently there are cogs in the background that aren't touching each other but still move. I'm
Well,
going to
they
have to
could
notice
be-
that next time.
No, I saw that, and I saw them talking about it, but they might still be touching other cogs. You're talking about the ones in the top right, right? They could be
Yeah.
being touched by other cogs from
Off-screen
that is
cogs.
off screen or hidden by other stuff in the front ground. Front ground? Anyway.
Front ground, not the background.
I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save locating a runaway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feeling, will you?
Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially just before the rent is due.
Foreground. Yeah, not front ground. Oh, God. She was a jury member for sure.
Oh, was she? Oh,
You
what
voiced her.
voice
She was a posh lady.
For some reason, I want to do Southern Belle again, but that was the other lady, wasn't it?
Well, I mean,
Um,
could have been her too, maybe,
That was
but yeah.
the energy lady.
Yeah,
like
yeah, the bee lady.
The
yeah.
gayest.
Yeah, the guy is. Yeah. Tell me about the guy is.
Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please. Please find my husband. He's run away.
No, he just said no runaways. To upset me?
I beg your pardon.
Never mind. A personal matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I didn't say a word. Come, my dear madam. Be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
Of course.
What's the matter, Mrs. Sato?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman.
Yep.
I'm sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently.
8 days ago. Yes, now you come to mention it.
As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil.
Evening vigil. Like an evening vigil.
I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure.
Ah, sure. Despite me saying that the greatest problem among man is rent, money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence.
But I will, however, want money. I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also.
If I might inquire, sir, this gentleman and lady would be?
Oh, me?
What I am about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand?
Evie Vigil. Eve. Il. Ooh. Because it starts with Eve and ends with ill? Nah. I think it's more evening vigil. Like you have an evening vigil when you sit around and... Yeah. Ah, these are my friends.
You ever imagined what it would be like if people scratch themselves like dogs do with their feet?
Yeah. I think it would be very weird. Because we are not positioned in the right way, and we can't reach our legs the same way. Their legs come out of like their side and aim like down. Our legs aim we have them it's on a more line, you know? Yeah. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything, but you may say to me. Ah.
Ah, I see.
I can vouch for the gentleman personally. After all, he's hard of hearing. What? No, I'm not. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Mrs. Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps?
Oh my.
My dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly, you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. No.
Is it possible? You're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week.
Ah, you I recognize, sir.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine.
I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now.
It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. ...
Pardon?
Oh dear, I am sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really. Nothing more.
Do you need to go before 5 or at 5?
Finishing at 5 should be good.
Okay.
Gives me time to walk.
Okay, to do a little walking. Now look where you've started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Yes. Tell us about your husband, madam.
Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here.
Entirely unremarkable, gentlemen, by appearance at least.
Aww.
How long have you been married? Daily vigil and evening vigil. It'll be 15. Why do I think I'm voicing her?
It will be 15 years this year. Or if she's really posh, she'd say yeah.
This
year.
year.
We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear. I need only look at you to know these things.
Oh, gosh.
Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty. He rather dotes on me. He plays Dota.
Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or another.
Oh, that is exactly what I feared must have happened. Mr. Sholmes, I am quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warder at the prison.
Guard. That is somewhat unusual. But is that enough to be that well off on a prison guard's pay?
I was thinking that, yeah, being...
So your husband is a prison warder?
That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
Okay, fair enough. Then maybe that's a bit more. Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation.
Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare for those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out.
Oh, he's like an executioner as well. Dreadful punishment? Does she mean capital punishment?
And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbours.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at which prison is your husband engaged?
Berkeley Prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Really? Berkeley? A fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it.
Wait a minute.
We saw a cemetery recently.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
Oh. No. Lowgate Cemetery? The very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable. I mean, it's not that unbelievable. Unbelievable, my dear fellow, and yet undeniable. See, I sometimes don't understand if the blue text is him thinking or saying it out loud or saying it under his breath. I think it's probably him sort of speaking quietly to himself, which is why sometimes people hear him and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Probably. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've quite lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madam, pay no heed. A private matter. This can't really be a coincidence, can it? So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing?
Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so.
Truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever could have happened?
My dear Mrs. Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally, but sadly, they refused to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
That is a myth, by the way, these days. You don't need to wait for someone to be missing for 24 hours before you report them missing. You can do it way earlier if you have reasonable cause to think so. In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Shames.
And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention.
You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure.
So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Shames.
Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession.
Oh, should it, Sholmes? So when your best friend is actually alive, it should be delivered early?
Early,
like
not
months later?
never? Yeah. The photograph of Mrs. Vigil has been entered into the court record. Wow, he appears to have no particular distinctive facial features, poor guy. Thank you. Now allow me to show you the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Shames. You've been simply marvellous. You know, I think every time, Hurley. How do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of day tomorrow. By that time, I have successfully located Mr. Vigil. We shall be mutually relieved. Would you agree, Mr. Naruto? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Or are you truly hard of hearing, like I made up? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is the rear of Barclay Prison. So it was renowned among our students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts. I remembered his voice. His robot voice.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor. And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruto. What? What? Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried. But aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly see not with this hair. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was a quite different matter. Of course it was. So, I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy. Doing what?
See, if this was the board game, he'd be like, I'm not going because I've already solved it in 3 fewer moves than you did.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you are. Alright. This is a good time to pause, I guess, alright?
Yeah.
Or to save, rather. So let's get it saved. When was the last time? 7/15/2022. 3 months since we last played. Damn. I guess it's because we started. We did a bunch of other stuff. There was a break for a while and just chilled. Tried a bunch. We did all the We Were Here games, I think. Some of the other ones we did the escape room thing. A bunch of stuff we did, honestly.
Yeah.
It was good. It's cool to get back. It's cool to go back to this one, though. I really curious to see it out the thing. Usually, it's like it just gets amazing in the end. Like that's generally what I find. It just
It's
gets
all going to
fantastic.
come together, sort of thing.
Yeah. 9 Dragons, 1 episode.
Sorry.
You're quitting just before the most interesting part. Yeah, well, it happens.
Sorry. It's
we'll
my
start
fault.
next
I did
week.
a boo-boo.
Briony
I
scheduled
literally,
things a
like-
little bit different.
I messaged Boof and Mousy yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I did a boo-boo and I need help. And they were like, what have you done? And I was like, well, I have a doctor's appointment on Friday to talk about whether to carry on the tablets I'm taking, but my tablets run out in 3 days. And they were like, you can just get an emergency prescription. I was like, what? So turns out that's a thing. For people who don't know, I called up this morning and the prescription should be there today. So that's why I have to run.
That's
off
our hope.
to pick
That's our
that
hope,
up.
anyway. Yeah.
Yes. Woo! I didn't know that was a thing. I was literally like Googling, should I just cut the tablets in half and lower the dosage myself and all that stuff, which is a no-no. So
That is not what you're supposed to do, yeah.
and I was in this big panic. I was messaging them like, do I cut them in half? Do I skip a day? Do I do this? And they were like, you just get more. I was like, oh, okay. That makes more
okay.
sense.
That works. Yeah. Well, yeah. You should then. I won't keep you. You need to go say goodbye and do some stuff. But I'll see you during the weekend, Briony, and we'll continue this next week. Exciting times. Exciting times.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you very much. It was fun returning to this. I always enjoy streaming with you. As always, it was 3 streams with Briony this week. We did
Yeah,
Played
I
Up
was saying,
Tuesday,
it's like old times.
Dota Wednesday, and now this on a Friday. I didn't do any XCOM this week. I was going to XCOM yesterday, but I took the day off yesterday because I was feeling like I needed a day to chill. So people who were excited for XCOM, they've been like, "Oh, Briony instead." Jesus.
Sorry.
But next week I should be back to both more Briony and XCOM, so that should be good.
Woo.
But goodbye, Briony, and goodbye, Briony's chat. Bye,
Bye, radio. Bye.
Bye. For those of you remaining, quick note: you might have seen me playing with this if you tapped in little. This is a la carte. Cool plushie I got. If you want to buy it, there's a link. I think Sapphire might have the link available for you. This is my son a la carte. He's cool. He's cool. You should check him out. But that's it for me. Have a good time, everyone. I will see you next week with XCOM. And then more Ace Attorney with Briony on the Friday. Have a lovely time, everyone. Wish me luck. On Sunday, I am starting up what could possibly be a new campaign. I'm playing Pathfinder, which is a tabletop role-playing game, kind of like D&D, with a bunch of my friends, and hope everything goes well. That's it for me. Have a good time.